The sun was already up. It was a Saturday, the start of summer. In Regina, Saskatchewan, the Al Ritchie neighborhood was just starting to wake up. People walked their dogs. Kids played on the sidewalks. Life seemed normal. Then a call came in. Someone was hurt, badly hurt. The address 2300 block of Reynolds Street. Paramedics rushed to the scene. Police cars followed, sirens blaring. The peaceful morning shattered. Something terrible had happened. On the sidewalk lay a young man, barely clinging to life. His name was Jason Martin, and he was just 19 years old. News of the attack spread quickly. Neighbors gathered, whispering in hushed tones. Who was this young man? Who could have done such a thing? The police arrived, their faces grim. This was no accident. This was a crime scene. Detectives from the Major Crimes Unit sealed off the area with yellow tape. Every detail, every piece of evidence could be important. The Saskatchewan Coroner's Service arrived too. Their job was somber but crucial. They would determine how Jason Martin died, and they would help the police find out who was responsible. Days turned into weeks, then months. The investigation continued, but answers were slow to come. The police were tight-lipped, releasing little information to the public. The community waited, a mix of fear and frustration growing. Who was Jason Martin? And who would want him dead? Jason's family grieved in private, their pain unimaginable. They deserved justice, but it seemed elusive. The waiting was the hardest part. Section 4. Tyler and Talon. Finally, a break in the case. On November 14th, over 5 months after Jason's death, the police made their move. 2 men were arrested, Tyler Blue Worm, 29, and Talon Lee Worm, 23. The names meant nothing to most in Regina. Who were these men? What was their connection to Jason Martin? The police weren't saying much. Their investigation was ongoing. But one thing was clear. Tyler and Talon Worm were now the prime suspects in Jason's murder. Section 5. The weight of accusations. Both men were charged with second-degree murder. It was a serious accusation, one that carried a heavy weight. If found guilty, they could spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Their first court appearance was scheduled for November 15th. The courthouse would be packed. Reporters, curious onlookers, and those who knew Jason Martin, they would all be there hoping for answers. But even as the legal process began, many questions remained unanswered. The police were still investigating. The full story was far from told. Section 6. A community in shadow. The arrest brought a measure of relief to Regina, but also a sense of unease. A young man was dead, his life cut tragically short. 2 other men now faced serious charges. The community struggled to come to terms with what had happened. Fear lingered in the air. Parents held their children a little tighter. Neighbors looked at each other with a mix of suspicion and sadness. The murder of Jason Martin had cast a long shadow over Al Ritchie, a reminder that even in the most ordinary of places, darkness could lurk.